Jim Brown, Bill Russell, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Muhammad Ali all made their stances on the black movement and the way black people have been treated in this country when they were at the top of their careers, when they stood the most to lose. Did Colin Kaepernick do the same? We debate here on Fresh Perspective.
Peace and blessings, world, and welcome to another episode of Fresh Perspective, where we give you a different thought on today's fresh hot topics. And today, nothing hotter than Mike Vick, the number seven experience, and his take on Mr. Kaepernick. So we just going to go right to it. First, I'd like to introduce one of our panelists, the young and talented Mr. Courtney Chappelle. How you doing, my friend?
What's good, y'all? Good morning. Good morning. Let's get it in.
All right, we're going straight to it. And also, I'm going to introduce the great orator and tactician, my man D. Burtz. Welcome.
Hey man, how much is due? How much will be paid? Let's do what we gotta do.
All right, and to set this up, man, Mike Vick at one point in time was on top of the world. When I came to Atlanta, man, they had this commercial called the Mike Vick Experience. And when I tell you this was the baddest commercial on television, it was the baddest commercial on television. And, brother had a fall from grace. And he has a different perspective on things. He offered his perspective on Kaepernick. And when I tell you he has the internet going ablaze, the internet's been talking all day today about how they feel about what Michael Vick has said. Mr. Chappelle, I'm curious, how do you feel about what Michael Vick said?
Rebranding as far as his hair goes, I don't necessarily see it as you gotta cut your hair. I don't think that's what he meant, but hey, maybe it is what he meant. I don't see it as that far, but as far as rebranding his image, and I'm hearing a lot of people for why he got to rebrand his image. All he did was take a knee. Listen, we've had this conversation before. I don't know if people grasp it. For me, it's not about him taking a knee. For me, I don't care about. I'm with you. You want to stand up for us, brother. Be behind us. Whatever it is you feeling. My issue with Colin Kaepernick is it was too convenient for when you get it. When they get ready to cut you because they don't want to pay you that money because you're playing like trash and you're virtually trash, then all of a sudden you wanted to fight for our rights. I don't care what nobody say, oh, he started dating a new woman and this and that. Listen, who you are. If you felt you was oppressed and you felt like, yo, we get done wrong, you would have been spoke up. I'm going to say this again as I just explained to somebody that had a problem with me saying screw Colin Kaepernick. I'm going to say this again for the world. I need y'all to understand something. When Colin Kaepernick came on the scene after Alex Smith lost his job, first before I even get to that point, Alex Smith lost his job because he had a concussion. Alex Smith got on the scene. Ain't nobody feel bad for Alex Smith. You took that man's job. You ain't feel bad for that man.
That's the NFL.
But that's the NFL. Cool. Now, let's get into my issue. When you came in the NFL, you was chilling. I didn't hear you fight about nothing. I didn't hear you have an issue about nothing going on. 8 weeks into the season, in the middle of the Super Bowl, you on there dancing and making funny voices for McDonald's and Mighty Wings commercials. They don't even fucking sell chicken wings anymore. But the fact of the matter is, you still did.
You never gonna let him live that Mighty Wings down, huh?
Yeah, I'm never gonna leave it alone. Because you was dancing for Mighty Wings, but I ain't hear you talking about oppression and how we need to stand up for our rights and we getting treated this way or that way. I ain't hear nothing. When you was butt naked on that ESPN cover, I ain't hear none of this. I ain't seen none of this. I ain't see you fighting. I ain't see you giving out money, shaking hands, kissing babies, doing nothing for no community. I didn't hear none of this. These 2-3 seasons when everybody was praising you and how good you was, you didn't open your mouth one time about nothing. But conveniently, when they about to cut you because you trash, all of a sudden, now you feel oppressed. Now you want to stand up for your people. For them 4 years that you was on fire, or they was looking at you as a starting QB, plenty of cases happened. Plenty of people had got killed by police officers. Plenty of people have been mistreated every single day. Why you didn't open your mouth then? Why you didn't feel no type of way then? Conveniently, you want our support and you want everybody to back you. Also, when they get ready to cut your ass, You could tell you San Francisco was. I could tell you San Francisco was not going to give you another job. You waited right before the money issues came to decide to do that, so they couldn't cut you because now they look like bad guys. So they waited to the end of the season. They don't want to renew your contract. What you thought you was gonna get? You fought for a whole year. I should be in the NFL. All these people took a stand for you. When you realize your ass wasn't gonna get a job, all of a sudden now you want to put out a newsletter. You know what? I am no longer trying to work for a system that oppresses me and doesn't stand up for. Man, get out of here.
But young talent, hold on real quick. We gotta be fair about something. First and foremost, out of all of the 32 teams, he's not the worst quarterback out of the 64 that's going to have jobs when the season starts. So I understand about what you're saying about when he first came into the league and everything, that he wasn't this person that was standing. He's not saying that he's been oppressed. He's talking about the people that can't speak for themselves and don't have a platform. So yes, he didn't come in saying those things, and he did do the Mighty Wing commercial. But for him to be deemed as a person that's not talented enough to be one of the 64, I disagree with that solely. I'm gonna come right back to you with D Burks. I need you to get some. Michael Vick says that Kaepernick needs to change his image, offered a suggestion of him cutting his hair. Internet is on fire right now. How do you feel about it?
Well, let's put things in its proper perspective, okay? Compare Michael Vick and to Colin Kaepernick. The only thing that they have similar is that they wear the same number. And as a matter of fact, the reason why Kaepernick wore number 7 is probably because of number 7. Let's just put that out there. Let's just put that out there to begin with. Number one, Michael Vick was by far the most talented quarterback in the game of football. He was the most electrifying player in the game of football, hence why he got a second chance. Colin Kaepernick, for some reason, everybody has deemed him to have this right to be in the NFL. No, that it is a privilege. It is several other people who are capable of playing the quarterback position better than he was. He was in a system that was designed for him to succeed. When he goes to another team, he's not being asked to do the same thing. He's going to be asked to play quarterback in their respective systems. And if those organizations feel like he can't get that done, then he's not going to get hired. That's number one.
Is Johnny Manziel as electric or as talented?
No.
Okay, then why is this man getting looks? Talk to me.
Johnny Manziel is not as electric, but his problem is it the same problem as Kaepernick's as far as the image of the league is perceiving.
Hold on real quick. So you telling me that standing up for unarmed black people is worse than drinking and drugging and not being a professional?
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay, go a little deeper for me, please.
Those issues by the NFL has already been a platform and it's already been talked about. Chris Carter goes for before the rookies every season and talk about those same issues. Those things are able to be, the NFL feels like those situations are able to be rehabilitated better than what Colin Kaepernick is trying to.
Better than what? Standing up for unarmed black people? I don't follow you on this one, Bert.
I said I'm not talking about what me and you think. I'm talking about what the NFL thinks as a whole. This is what they're doing, and they have elected to say that we're not going to put up with that for a backup quarterback. That's just all I'm saying. They're not going to do it. So when Michael Vick says redo the image, this is just my personal perspective on what he means. What he said to me, the most important thing is the platform. Colin Kaepernick needs the platform to voice what he's trying to voice. Cutting your hair is going to be able to help you take a step towards getting back to the platform you once had. Now, if that hair has some symbolic meaning to you and things of that nature, then understand that because you're going to keep that, your platform will change. That's how I feel about that.
Okay, and real quick before we wrap this one up, Courtney, young talent, I need you to get back up in here. Do you feel like him cutting his hair is a step towards rehabilitating his quote unquote bruised image to the NFL?
Of course.
Oh, I don't care about him cutting his hair at all. I don't care about his hair. I don't care about his hair at all. I don't care if he decides not to play football at all. I don't view Colin Kaepernick as a good quarterback. I never did. I never did. I ever did. My issue is, one, you had to have known when you went against the system. We have no example of anybody who stood up to the system this way who wasn't pushed out of their sport. He's not the first to do this. He's not the first to not be in the sport again. But he is the worst of all of them who did do this. He is the entire worst of all of them. He's not that good. My issue is not with none of that. My issue is in a sense of what D-Bird said, slightly. NFL teams are viewing it as, you're not that good of a quarterback to bring this much drama and attention to the football field, and we got to deal with the stories in the media. You're not good enough for us to take on that kind of issue. Like, you're just not that good. No, he's not the worst one, but you're not good enough to come with, you're not good, and come with questions and
Court,
et cetera, et
Court,
cetera.
Court,
That's
add
just the bottom line.
Court, can I add something to that right quick?
Yeah, go ahead, get some, D.
I just want to add this. Colin Kapernick had been a starting quarterback in the NFL for 4 seasons prior to last year. Last year was the first year that his jersey numbers reached top 10 number 1 status, and it was only because of his stance, not because of his play. Continue, Court.
Okay, so real quick, I mean, everybody in the media is trying to present his stance as a hindrance to the NFL, when in actuality, the public was feeling what he was talking about. People were proud of what he was saying. These are the fans that
I got a question for you,
hold on,
I got a question for you.
And they reacted by purchasing his jersey. I feel like the stance on the NFL, I don't particularly understand their position, and I don't see what they're talking about, to be honest with you.
I got a question for you.
Okay, gotcha.
If what Colin Kaepernick feel is right,
Mm-hmm.
and this is what he's doing, he feels this right is the thing to do. I'm not backing down from this. I'm doing this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then why did you stop? Then why did you come in saying I'm not gonna kneel down, or I wouldn't take the stance on the public front this season?
I don't have an answer to that, Court. I really
No,
don't.
Again, this is my point. This is my whole point to everybody. This is my whole point. If you stand for something you believe in something, I don't care what the circumstances of the situation is, you're not supposed to back down off of that. So what if people riled up? So what if people mad? So what? That's the point. I'm mad, you mad, we even. But all of a sudden you don't want to take the stance now? Why? Because you want some chat.
Well, I feel like ultimately the stance was to create an atmosphere for the correct conversation, and the conversation,
no. See, that's the problem.
The conversations are being had.
Okay, this is the problem. This is the problem right here. It was to create the atmosphere for a conversation that we've been having. We didn't need the atmosphere. We needed it to be changed. So if you was going to change your stance, then you should change your stance after some changes that had happened. Ain't none happened.
Okay, and once again, world, you're listening to Fresh Perspective, and man, we covering a really, really hot topic, and we coming to the close of this show. We need to get our final perspective. D. Burtz, I need your final perspective on this, man. What do you think?
At the end of the day, you have people cutting hair, cutting beards, changing hairstyles for $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $80,000 a year jobs. So this is no different than that situation. I've not seen one person not go to a job interview who really wanted the job and not made sure that their appearance was correct. What Colin Kaepernick is doing right now, he has to make a decision. And it looks like he has made his decision and people are not willing to accept his decision. Michael Vick made a comment about him getting back into the NFL and rechanging his image. Nobody knows that better than Michael Vick. Cut your hair. Cut your hair.
All right.
If cutting your hair is what's going to get you back to the NFL to have the platform that you had to promote what you want to promote, then that is an easy, simple decision that need to be made. Period.
Okay, young talent, final perspective.
I don't care about your hair. I don't care. I don't care, period. I don't view him as that good of a quarterback. We're having this discussion on him, on his stance. Listen, He's changed the stance on how good from who he is and how good he is as a quarterback to what people feel about him and what they're holding him up against. That is an amazing thing because we are supposed to be talking about him as a quarterback. We've never had this much discussions on Colin Kaepernick as a quarterback ever, ever. And it's convenient that the moment he was getting ready to get pushed out of this league and cut, that all of a sudden he feels oppressed. Want to stand up for the people who are oppressed or don't have a voice. I'm sorry. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I don't believe it. I feel like you was getting ready to get cut. You was trying to figure out a way to keep your name relevant and yourself in the light. And you chose something that's very meaningful and plays on the heartstrings of America. And I feel like that's corny. That's weak and that's whack. I didn't hear him open his mouth one time about this prior to you getting ready to be cut. That's corny to me. I'm sorry. I don't buy it. I don't have an issue with his stance. I don't have an issue with what he's fighting for. I don't care about his hair. I don't care about none of that. But don't. I haven't seen you. I never saw this man so pro-black in my life, y'all. He came out with a fro and a leather jacket to a press conference. We didn't see that in 4 years. You just don't wake up black power, bro. You've been that.
Well, okay, that's Young Talent's final perspective, and I'll say this. A lot of the public is really hard on athletes in a sense where they say they don't take enough stance. They say it's not enough of the Bill Russells and the Jim Browns currently today. And I know a person that gets a lot of heat is Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Throughout his career, people always say that he never took a stance on anything. But I just want people to look and understand what is happening to Colin Kaepernick. This man took a stance, and I don't agree that he did this to stay relevant, because if he did this to stay relevant, it's blowing up in his face. If anybody can look and see what's happening to Kaepernick, to understand that once you do take up a stand and try and fight against oppression in any form, unless it's one of the flavors of the month, you are detonating the bomb of your career. And I think a lot of people who are hard on athletes don't understand that, because these are people who have cut their hair for 30 and 40,000. These are people who conduct themselves in a certain manner not to lose their position, yet they are hard and critical on people who have a lot more to lose, and it's almost like they want them to put themselves in a position to lose theirs. So with that said, I have a lot of respect for Kaepernick. I have a lot of respect for the epiphany that he had and the stance that he's willing to take. I hate to see that he's losing his opportunity. Yes, he's not the greatest quarterback, but he is not the 65th worst quarterback in this country. And he can play backup on somebody. He might not be a starter. He might not be that person that we thought he was when he was leading San Francisco to the Super Bowl, but he's not the 65th worst. And the man does have the talent to be employed in the NFL. But like D. Burt said earlier, playing in the NFL is a privilege. It's not a right. And the NFL has their right to not employ him. But when the NFL exercise that right, what are they really saying? And that's my only question. What are they really saying? How they feel about his particular stance? I agree with Young Talent. Cutting his hair doesn't mean anything. I understand Michael Vick meant well as someone sized by the NFL and got another opportunity, because he had to make some changes within himself to even get that opportunity.
But he only got that opportunity, not to cut you off, Hawk, but he only got the opportunity because he was Michael Vick, the most electrifying player in football. That's why he got that opportunity.
You're right.
It had nothing to do with what he went to jail for. He went to jail. He served his time to society. He paid that debt. That's done.
I got you.
That part was done. When he came back into the game, it was because of the talent.
You're right about that. And
in order for him to get back in the game, the image was changed. enough, and enough people got behind him to give him a chance to get back into the game, and he made the best out of that situation. And I think
And
that's what it came from.
and just to wrap it up, because I know I'm going a little bit long, you make an excellent point about the talent that Michael Vick had, and that was pretty much his ticket back in.
Mike Vick better be taking
Colin
it right
Kaepernick
now.
doesn't have as much talent as Michael Vick,
Now,
but he has enough talent to get in. Thank you very much, world, for listening to Fresh Perspective. If you like what we're talking about and you enjoyed the show, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Peace.